Hey fellow time travelers. Today's question, how do you go about figuring out your measurements so that you can get something that fits you correctly? Let's dig in and find out. Hey everybody, my name is Jesse. I'm an NAAP certified life coach, and I'd like to welcome you to my Fashion Friday series, helping men to find the fashion or style that works for them. Join me in the journey. Alright, so today we'll be digging into how to take your measurements so that you can start looking for garments and clothing that actually fits properly so that you can feel comfortable in what you're wearing. One of the first things, you are going to need a measuring tape. If you don't already have one of these, you can get them from just about any craft store for just a couple of bucks. And it doesn't matter color or preference, mine just happens to be blue. You can get them in all sorts of colors, whatever your preference is. All that matters is that you have good measurements that you can read easily. One of the first things you want to get is your neck. For any man, you are well familiar with the difficulty of finding a shirt that does not feel like you're getting choked. So my recommendation is take a relatively tight measurement and then fit 2 fingers in. That'll give you breathing room. Now hold on to the end, or hold on to the measurement side and pull the end free. Pull that out and read where it's at. So for me, 15. I generally prefer 15 to 16 just for breathing room, and I like how they sit just a little bit better. This shirt's a little loose. I think this is 17. Next measurement you're going to want to do is your shoulders. I highly recommend getting a friend or family member to help you out with this one, just because it's hard to get an accurate measurement on yourself. You want to find where your shoulder muscle ends and measure from there to there. For me, that measurement is 17. I had my wife help me out get the measurement. And then you want to get your chest measurements. Now, this one can be tricky, and you'll hear a few different thoughts on how to get the measurement right. What I found the most effective is the position of the measurement stays the same. You want to find the largest point on your chest. Usually this is around the nipple line. Pull the measuring tape tight, breathe out entirely, and take your measurement. For me, that is about 37. Now, using the same step, measure the same spot. Try not to twist your measuring tape. And again, you can get help with this one. If you have somebody helping you get these measurements, it's so much easier. The second step is to take the measurement, breathe in as deeply as you can, and again, mark and measure. Mine's 39. So that's kind of the breathing distance. And depending on what fabric you're getting your shirt or outfit made out of, will depend on which measurement you're wanting to get. If you're doing knits or something that's going to stretch, you can get away with the tighter measurement. If you're dealing with something that is a fairly solid weave, twill is a good example, there's not a whole ton of flex there. You may want to look at using either a median or the large number, depending on whether it is a fitted garment or whether it's something like a suit that's going to have some give up at the top for breathing. If it's something like a t-shirt, if it's a solid t-shirt, you may want to go with a larger number just to give yourself room to breathe. Otherwise, it's going to be very tight across the chest, which may be what you're looking for. I leave that to you. The next measurement is going to be your natural waist. So what this is, as I stand up, is going to be right in here. And let's move the chair so I have some room to maneuver so you can see my face. So this one, you're going to want to find your belly button. And at that belly button point, take the measuring tape and measure. And again, suck it in. And again, this will depend on what the material is and how you want it to sit, which measurement you're going to want to use. So you're going to want to take 2 measurements again. One sucking it in, for me, that's about 33, and then one breathing, so that one's breathing out. You then want to breathe in as deeply as you can to get your full lung measurement. Stick your gut out, make yourself feel fat, like you just ate a phenomenal Thanksgiving dinner. Just relax those muscles and take your measurement. Mine is now 35 to 36. I usually go with 36 as the measurement just because that gives that extra flexibility. If I want it to sit a bit looser, or if I'm wanting it to fit tight, I use the 33 measurement and realize it's going to suck that gut in a little bit. The last 2 measurements you're going to want to get, one you can take yourself, the other one you are definitely going to need to get help with. The first one is your low waist measurement. Now there is another measurement that I'll get into in a second regarding the hips. So you want to get this measurement right around the butt line where you are thickest around in the hips. And then again, just kind of get that measurement there. For me, it's about 40, 41. Depends on whether I'm flexing or not. And then, as I mentioned, the other one you're going to want to get in this area is your low waist. So this really only applies if you're getting garments or pants that are designed to sit at the low waist. And at that point, you just kind of sit where is your high hip bone, and you'll get the measurement there. So that's, again, only if you're getting low waist garments, or if you are getting a garment that you're wanting very tailored to transition. And at that point, you may also want to get the high waist to the low waist, and the low waist to the hip. That way you've got that information that you can give your tailor so they can get it made right. Or if you are your own tailor, you're probably well aware of this. And there is one more measurement that, like I said, you are going to want to get help with. And you're going to want a cane, or if you have a tailor square of some variety. Like I said, with a cane, it's easy enough. And you just set it on the shoulder, and you want to have this setting out so it's resting about the level of your other shoulder. And then where that meets the spine, you want to have somebody measure from there down to your natural waist. And so again, this would be the point directly across from your belly button so that you can get that measurement. And from there, they can adjust based on how far down do you want it to. And like I said, you can get the adjustments varied from those basic measurements. And of course, measurement length from different points based on how you're wanting to go. But those are the base measurements that they usually use for shirts, jackets, and other garments. And then, like I said, just kind of figure out your height and how those measurements go from there. And then there is one more that if you are doing jackets is going to be important, as well as shirts, and that is your sleeve. And you just measure from the top of your shoulder, again, find the base of the shoulder muscle, or the end of the shoulder muscle, and then down to where you would want the sleeve to sit. I have found most effective is if you curl your hand like this, and curl it back as far as it'll go, down to the base of the wrist, from a down position, so it'll be right about, it'll look kind of like this while you're doing it, and then measure from there, so that's 32, and just cut off half an inch. That's what I found to be effective. That gives you the length, and then you can adjust if you want it to be a little more flowing. You just add that half inch or whatever back in, and usually have a tighter cuff at that point. So that's the basics of getting your measurements, and from there, it's up to you how you want to play with those numbers. One other thing I will mention is I did this in my waistcoat. So this would be me taking measurements for a jacket. If you're doing a shirt, a straight shirt, or something like that, depending on how much adjustment you're wanting, I may recommend going down straight to the shirt sleeves, removing the overcoat or removing the vest or other garment that you may be wearing. If you want to take these shirtless, go for it. That'll give you very raw numbers that you can work with, especially for shirts and other tailored garments of that nature. And like I said, depends from there kind of what you're doing and how you want to measure for the different garment that you're wearing based on how it's fitting. So I hope this has been informative and helpful for you in your fashion journey. Thanks for joining me today. Now, if you think I've gone off the deep end and I'm off the rails, call me out. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's see if we have an opportunity to grow or learn from each other. Otherwise, if you just need some help implementing this, reach out. I'm here for you. I'd love to help. I'd love to give you a hand. Or who do you know who could get value from this video? I invite you to share it with them. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on notifications on future uploads and videos. And let's be the change that we want to see in the world. Join me. One person at a time, let's watch this avalanche begin.